Okay, so let me ask you something. What if humanity's greatest achievements, I'm talking cures for diseases, endless clean energy, what if all of it was built on the suffering of one single innocent life? Today, we're going to unpack a story about a visitor from another galaxy, a friendship that defied all odds, and a really tough question about the true price of progress. Our story starts with a being from a place so incredibly far away. It was just a blurry smudge in our most powerful telescopes, the Messier 83 galaxy. We couldn't pronounce his real name, but the scientists who found him, well, they just gave him a label. We'll call him Vael. After his ship crash-landed here on Earth, this lone traveler didn't wake up to a helping hand. He woke up to the cold, hard reality of a cage. And this is really the question at the core of it all. Seriously, if you had the power to fix everything wrong with the world, what would you be willing to give up for it? Or maybe the better question is, who would you be willing to give up? It's a thought that kind of hangs over every single thing that happens next. Yeah, so Vael's arrival wasn't some feel-good first contact moment like you see in the movies. Not even close. For him, it was an abduction. And the price he would pay for accidentally landing on our planet, it's just beyond anything you can imagine. The people who found him didn't see a person. They saw a resource. They called him Subject Zero. To them, he was a biological marvel made of this incredible silicon-carbon weave. And get this, he could talk with his mind and literally bend the laws of physics. For these gifts, he was locked away, deep underground, turned into a living library of cosmic secrets. And the breakthroughs for humanity? They were absolutely staggering. I mean, studying the teal gave us a quantum leap forward. The energy crisis? Solved, thanks to zero-point energy. A whole host of terminal diseases? Cured. Traveling faster than light went from a sci-fi dream to an actual engineering project. We were basically given the keys to the stars, all thanks to him. But here's the dark side of that equation. For 22 years, Vael was trapped in a cell specifically designed to cut off his connection to the universe. The way it's described is like being blindfolded, deafened, and buried alive all at once. Every miracle cure, every bit of clean energy was bought and paid for with his quiet, unending agony. But after 2 decades of nothing but darkness, one person finally enters the picture. And suddenly, the story starts to shift from one about exploitation to one about, well, connection. This is Dr. Elias Thorne. Now, he was different. Where everyone else saw a subject, a thing to be studied, Elias saw a person. His job was to get more information out of Vael, but he just tossed the official rulebook, the one full of coercion and force. Instead, he brought in his cello and just played. He used music to try and break the silence. And you know what? It worked. Vael responded. They started communicating mind to mind. And they didn't just share data, they shared their world. Vael showed Elias these incredible memories of his home, oceans that glowed from within, and dances that played with gravity itself. And Elias, in return, he shared the simple, beautiful things about Earth, the smell of rain, the taste of a fresh strawberry, the sound of Bach on a cello. It was during one of these secret talks that Vael said something that just changes your whole perspective. He basically told Elias that being advanced isn't about having starships or powerful technology. The true measure, he said, was the one thing Elias had shown him that no one else had: compassion. So this friendship, it became this little beacon of hope in a really dark place. But you know how it goes? The darkness was about to push back, hard, and it was going to force Elias to make an absolutely impossible choice. The higher-ups, they realized that Vael was dying from being isolated for so long. And their solution? It's something they coldly called the Harvest Protocol. The plan was to cut him open while he was still alive, to pull out his brain and use it as a kind of organic supercomputer to power their warships. It was just clinically, monstrously cruel. When Elias found out about this plan, that was it. A line had been crossed. He went to Vael and told him they were getting out. He even used Vael's own concept of a great chorus, this idea that all life is connected. He knew he couldn't just stand by and let his friend's song be silenced. He was ready to risk it all. And that decision, well, that's what kicks off the most intense part of this whole story. We're talking about a desperate, brilliant escape plan from what was probably the most secure prison on the entire planet. Elias's plan was just pure genius. He faked a toxic spill to throw the whole facility into chaos. Then he shut down the dampeners on Vael's cell and started guiding his weakened friend through the maintenance tunnels and blind spots. For the first time in 22 years, Vael could actually feel the world again. But this wasn't a one-man rescue mission. Vael, as weak and pain as he fought back too. He dug deep and used what little energy he had left to actually bend light around them, making them completely invisible to the security patrols. This was a partnership, fueled by their friendship. So they make it, they reach the hangar, and Vael's repaired ship is waiting. But the most powerful part of this whole thing isn't the escape itself. It's the farewell, the goodbye between these two friends at the very edge of everything. Vael's ship is powering up, alarms are screaming, guards are shooting at them, and right in the middle of all that chaos, Vael's thoughts just flood Elias's mind. It's this overwhelming wave of gratitude and love, and he calls Elias his brother. And then, Vael does something absolutely incredible. He reaches out, presses his hand to Elias' forehead, and gives him a gift, a piece of himself, a tiny spark of his cosmic consciousness. It was more than a goodbye. It was an inheritance. And then, in a blinding flash, his ship just phases through the solid rock of the mountain and vanishes. He was gone.
So Vael is free, but Elias is left behind, right? He's got to face the music. Well, not quite. See, Vael's gift, it changed everything.
Elias was no longer just a man. He now had these abilities that just defied science. And he didn't use them for revenge. He dismantled that entire corrupt organization, not with force, but with the profound empathy that Vael had given him. He became a quiet guardian for humanity, making sure we used our newfound gifts for peace, not for war. And even now, across millions of light years, he and Vael still talk. Their friendship is like a song that just keeps echoing across the stars. Which brings us right back to that first question. What does it really mean to be advanced? This story suggests that maybe the answer isn't about having faster ships or bigger weapons. Maybe it's about the ability to see a stranger, trapped and alone, and offer them not a scalpel, but a song. Maybe it's compassion. And honestly, that's a power that could truly change the universe.